brothers
Welcome back to another episode of
of
Whiskey and
whiskey and
Water.
water. We are back at it again.
Back at it again. Remote episode number 2. We're out here.
Yeah, we're out here. Our audio should sound good. So if it sounds weird or delayed, or if we sound a little delayed, you guys know why. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to make it work. But I think we're good. Jess is using the right mic this time. So
Yeah, and she says that because we tried to film an episode a couple days ago and it was a disaster.
Well, yeah, so we've been having some technical difficulties, but I'm saying in the last episode you were recording in the wrong mic, remember, for like 30
Oh,
minutes,
true,
and then
true,
we
true.
realized,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're
So,
officially doing it correctly. So,
yes. So, yeah, so a few things are new here.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, you guys are aware we're still all in quarantine and
So
dealing
not
with
much is new, but some
um
things are.
some things are, but not the fact that we're all still in quarantine and that we're still in this very strange time.
Mm-hmm.
We,
And all
you know,
staying inside.
yeah. And like we addressed it last week, how we don't ever want it to come off like we're being ignorant or not addressing what's happening. But we are trying to remain positive and know that better
Mm-hmm.
days are coming. Doesn't
And we're
minimize.
yeah, and we're not trying
Yeah.
to be like, your source of news. Like, we know that you guys are getting
Yeah.
all the updates from everywhere on social media.
Yeah.
So,
The actual news. Like, one, we're not qualified. That's not what this is. This is not a news show.
I ain't no doctor.
Yeah, we're not scientists. We're not newscasters. This is not what you guys come here for. So, but it doesn't minimize the suffering and the crazy shit going on right now. And we obviously want to encourage everyone. Please stay home. Please follow the guidelines.
Mhm.
Make
You're an
sure
asshole if
that
you're not. I'm
yeah,
just
make
throwing that out
sure
there.
that you're taking your vitamins and disinfecting your house and wearing your masks and really doing the responsible thing. That's so important right now.
Not to mention, so I told you guys last week that I had someone staying with me, and, he ended up going back to Tampa where he lives right now, and so I ended up coming up here. I got here today. I surprised him because, cute as fuck. But I had
Cute.
to make a pit stop, to charge my charge my car. I can't say that without feeling
It's so funny. You
like
hate
such a
saying it.
dumb
I had
bitch.
to charge my Tesla. Dude,
Regardless.
whatever. It is what it is.
Ugh, I think it sounds so pretentious.
You could
But
say
anyway,
gas. Oh, I got to get gas, which happens to be an electric charge.
listen, it's kind of a flex, kind of pretentious, but I'm kidding. So anyways, regardless, reeling it
Yes.
back in. So
Yes.
I stopped at Chipotle, and so I go in because I had to pee like crazy. And so I have a mask, I put my mask on, I go in there, and I realize people are, like, looking at me weird because I have the mask on, and I'm like, no one
Y'all
in
are the
there
weird ones.
no one in there had a mask on. I'm, like, looking around, like, this town, almost everyone's out and about, no one's wearing a mask, it was crazy.
Dude, this is why it like
Yeah, this is what, like, you
this is
guys.
why.
And
Well,
the thing so
even go ahead.
well, I was talking to talking to a few people about, like, the whole masks thing, and I was talking to
Mhm.
my dad's fiance, who's a nurse, and she was like, "It's important for everyone to wear masks, not because, not because it's gonna stop you from getting a disease, but it's because it's, like, it's gonna stop you from potentially spreading it." So it's like, if we're all wearing masks, we're all doing the right thing, but if some of us aren't doing it, it's just not gonna work like it should.
Yeah,
Like,
for
it's
sure.
it's
And
it's
also
it takes
like
all of us.
not to divulge too much into it, but like even I don't know, even this bullshit of like, oh, essential businesses only are open right now. If you go out right now, it looks like another fucking day. Like it does not look like
Mhm.
any sort of lockdown situation. People are out, people are, going to restaurants. Granted, it's all like takeout, but I don't know. I just feel like the essential business thing should be like a lot tighter. Like
Yeah, no,
essential
I agree.
workers, in my opinion, are like hospital, firefighter, police, and then
Yeah.
like grocery stores. Like it just sucks because they're obviously trying to keep businesses open right now, but it's also like
Mhm. It's
I don't
hard.
know.
It's
It's
hard.
hard. It's so hard.
That's
But
not we'll
either
move
way,
on.
yeah, either way, we just want to obviously encourage you guys to do the right thing. Please socially distance. Please stay
Mhm.
inside. I know it sucks, but the sooner we, comply with these guidelines, the sooner this will all be over.
Yeah, but other than that,
So,
brother, what's new with you?
what's
What's
new with well, a lot of exciting things happening over here. I'm, upgrading my interior decor. I've actually have made some good improvements this last like week or so.
Mhm.
I got a new dresser. I needed more storage. So I, sold some things, bought some things while practicing social distance. I disinfected everything, but it's good. I'm starting to get, the flow of the
the vibe
right.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
starting to get the vibe going. I like reorganized my pantry today. So
Mhm.
yeah, just using this time to because I needed to do it anyway. So like if I didn't get my
If you
place
didn't
together,
yeah, it
it would
would've
be ridiculous
yeah. Not
if
to
I
mention,
wasn't taking advantage of this
didn't you
time.
guys also build a shed?
Oh, yes. We
I wanna
built
hear
a
about the
whole
shed,
ass
brother.
shed. Honestly, it was hard. Um, but,
How
like,
so I
Tyler
saw it go up really quickly. How did you guys do that? Did you guys buy
well,
the material and, like, make your own shed, or do you, like, buy the shed and it comes with all the like, how does this
yeah,
work?
yeah, yeah. So we bought it from Lowe's. It was, like, 275 maybe? It was under
Okay.
$300.
And it just
And
comes, like,
then
in a package that you
comes
just
in a
put to
box and it
uh,
comes with all the screws and the instructions, like literally hundreds of
that's so
screws
interesting.
and different pieces with numbers, and then you read the instructions and like get those,
It's like a puzzle.
yeah, pretty much. And like Tyler is in construction, so he's really hands-on and can understand plans pretty
Yeah.
well. And then I was kind of just a helper, and I like learned the difference between like a screw and like a bolt, like I learned those things. Like call me a construction worker now.
She's out here.
Call me an architect.
Olivia and Tyler Construction.
Honestly. But it was, yeah, we got it done in 2 days, and we just really needed a place to put his tools because they were just like laying around in the
Everywhere, yeah.
office and in the living room and his freaking power saw. And I was like, I had enough of it.
Yeah.
So lots of home improvement going on my side. How about you, brother? What else is
Honestly,
new?
I love to hear that though, because I don't know, I get such a fucking boner for home decor. I get a
That's when you know we're old, honestly.
dude, that was, like, a huge shift for me, like, within the past year. It's like well,
Like
I
when you
guess,
start to care about like interior decor,
like,
that's a sign, guys. That's when you know you're getting older.
I get the whole HGTV thing now. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I get off to that shit. Anyways,
Oh
moving
yeah.
on.
Anyways, moving on. What's new with you, brother? What do you have to catch us up on?
So, I told you guys last week I was gonna come out of this quarantine juggling and bald, and let's just say I don't know how to juggle yet.
Let's just say one of those things are done.
There's two truths and a lie. No, but, yeah, so
The
I
deed
did the
is done,
damn thing.
brothers.
We did the damn thing. I fucking buzzed my head.
She's a
Gave
real one.
got about, like, a half an inch of hair or some shit on my head.
So
But, yeah,
good.
it's
Love it.
crazy. It's crazy.
Love it.
We're gonna get, a lot of people I've been getting, like I posted it, I think, yesterday. We're filming this on Saturday. I posted it yesterday, which was Friday, and, yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, I had no idea that it would kind of, like, blow up like
Blow
it did.
up.
I mean, it's definitely, like, by far the most comments that I've gotten on, like, a post like that, aside from, like, I think, like, a giveaway or something. But yeah, a lot of people are asking me like why I did it and what inspired me and all those different things. So we're definitely going to get into that. But
Yeah. We're pretty much going to use this opportunity to just chat about like why Jess made that decision, what her thought process was behind it. And then we figured we'd talk a little bit about like beauty standards, confidence, people's
confidence,
judgment. Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
because
because you can
it's
imagine
been yeah.
all the comments that I got weren't positive, although it was an overwhelming amount of support and love. There was definitely some haters there, which is fucking cool because if you're not doing something that pisses off inferior men, then like what's the point? But
That's
regardless,
a whole ass energy.
yeah, that's a fucking vibe, bro. And that's what
We're
I've been
gonna
on.
get yeah, we're gonna get into it today, guys. We have a really good conversation to look forward to.
Yeah.
And yeah, coming from two models, we are definitely going to like I don't know. We're just gonna get into it. You'll hear
We're gonna deep dive on just like beauty standards, even like a little bit about like the industry and the modeling industry and like how I kind of approached this with my agency as well. It's gonna be
yeah.
it's gonna be a good one, I think. So
Yes. Okay, before we get into it, we have to do our pro tip. So, just hit them with that quarantine themed pro tip.
all right, guys, I'm about to fucking level up your quarantine game right now. So this guy that I'm seeing right now is introduced me to this website actually, and it's called Soap Today. And that's like soap, like normal soap, and then it's the number 2 and then day, DAY.
So
And
random.
basically this website is like Admit Me, if you guys were ever on Admit Me or heard of that, which is essentially, I don't know, it's a website where you can just watch movies, right? So it's like I don't know if it's illegal or not.
It's
So
100% illegal.
I don't want the feds coming for me or nothing. I'm really putting it all on the line here for you guys to level
Really
up your
doing the
quarantine.
most.
Facts.
Her
So
Our next episode is Jess is gonna be doing it remotely from a jail cell.
sorry if you guys just heard Nugget barking. I think some. So if you guys are watching me, you guys can see I am not in my own home. I am at my boo's home. Is we need to.
Ooh, he was
I
a
don't want
friend
to.
last week, now he's a boo.
I am. I've been caught.
Let's see what he's next week.
Yeah, facts, guys.
Um,
I think I'm gonna get wifed. Anyways, moving on.
Anyways, we'll talk about that another episode. So we do want to do our little Netflix segment that we talked about last week, just because, everyone's home, everyone's watching Netflix, and,
What
if you
better
don't want to
opportunity?
be a pirate and pirate download movies, you can watch some shit
It's
on Netflix.
it's a very whiskey. Netflix is water, and fucking my soap today is whiskey.
Oh my god. Facts.
That's
You're not
so
wrong.
funny.
That is so on
Regardless,
brand with us.
so on brand.
Regardless. So Love is Blind I did like last month, and
Mhm.
we can chat about that because I know you recently watched it. What were your thoughts?
So, Love is Blind was super interesting. Like, I thought okay, so at first I thought it was gonna be way, like, cheesier than I guess it
Mhm.
was. It really wasn't too cringy. I mean, like, yeah, people did cringy things, but it wasn't like when I watched The Bachelor season, like, 3 or something,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's I mean,
it wa
because 'cause they're
it
real and
was
it's
well
real situations.
it was well produced. I gotta say, I'm not team Jessica. Fuck Jessica. She did Mark
But
super
okay,
dirty.
but did you watch the reunion?
Yeah, and I think that she
She
matured a lot.
No, I know. I don't think she matured. I think she freaking went into a major depression after that show came out. Like, she did not look well, and it was, like, concerning.
She didn't look
Oh
well
my god,
in
and
a
then
lot of it, but
when the girl, like, fucking bitched her out, I was like,
dude, yeah,
"Oh."
Amber came for her. I
Dude,
mean,
Amber's
I
a savage.
I low-key think that, like,
Amber's a savage.
I'm not here to pass judgment, but not a fan of Amber at all. I think that she I think they were calling her, like, Gun Girl or something. She's just like ew, she's just like that try hard.
I
Like
actually don't think she was trying hard. I think she was okay. We're gonna make this fast because we could sit here all day. I don't think she was trying like hard. I think that was actually her personality, but she's just someone with like a strong, loud, big personality.
but I
But
feel
I
like
think
that
she did
comes from, like
Jessica
I think that's,
mad
like
dirty, and that was like so fucked.
yeah, I mean, Lauren and Cameron were absolutely my faves.
Love them. They're the best from the show. They're the
I
best from
follow
the
both
show.
of them now. But okay, quick note, I was listening to Girls Gotta Eat today,
Mhm.
and they had on, Kelly Chase
Yes, I
from
saw
Love
that.
Is Blind, so of course I had to fucking listen to this episode, it rocks, go listen to it. But, spoiler,
Tell me.
there's there's 2 couples. Okay, so do you know how, like, in the middle, like, whenever the first, like, 5 or 6 couples got engaged, like, we never saw anyone else? You know how
Yeah.
there's, like and they never even addressed that, which I thought was really weird.
Well,
We saw
I just assumed it was like, yeah, okay, so whoever actually proposes and makes it to the next round continues to be on the show.
So, there's 2 other couples from the show that made it all the way through. Yeah, that we
What?
just never saw. How
Why?
fucking I don't know. How weird
Did
is
she
that?
what did she say about it?
I don't she didn't, like she had no idea.
That is bizarre. I wonder if they just like weren't if their storylines just weren't there and the producers just nixed them. Huh.
I mean, yeah, they're not I know that they're not still together right now, but
How
still,
interesting.
2 whole ass fucking people. How weird. I guess they
Well,
just
two
chose, like,
couples.
whoever
Wait,
was,
one
like
couple or two
oh,
couples?
yeah, 2 couples, so 4
So
people.
4 people.
Math.
Okay. So, yeah, my review on Love Is Blind is that it's good. I like how they executed it. It was produced
Yeah.
well.
I think it's very
So
interesting concept. I mean, I would definitely recommend if you guys haven't seen it yet, definitely watch it.
yeah, definitely a good little binge.
Mhm.
Tiger King, let's make this short because I know we could sit here forever and talk about it.
All I've gotta say,
Dude. everyone online is saying that she killed her husband. Like
Carol
Tyler and I were
Baskin killed her husband.
Carol Baskin killed her
Carol.
husband, whacked him. Okay. Anyways, we need to move on.
Watch Tiger King.
I started watching Ozark. So far so good. I'm pretty into it. It's about like, money laundering and drug shit, drug cartels. It's pretty good. Keeps you on the
He
edge of your seat.
I literally just watched like 20 minutes of the episode that my
Your
man is
boo.
on. My man, my boo. Oh my god. Regardless, I just watched 20 and I had no idea Jason Bateman's in it. Also,
I
I
don't even
thought
know who that is.
Ozark Jason Bateman's the main character.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm like so
Also
bad with actors by their first names.
also, I had no idea. So I thought Ozark was a space thing. I thought
Oh,
that
yeah,
so
I actually had no idea what it was about either before I started watching it. I had heard about it though.
Ozark just sounds very, like, Star Trek-y to me, and
Yeah,
so when he
I
told me
feel
that it's
that.
about, like, rednecks, like, money laundering rednecks, I was like, "What?"
It's intense. I
Yeah,
suggest
no.
it if you guys need something to watch, start Ozark. There's 3 seasons, so you have enough there to keep you busy for a while.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm watching The Office for the fourth time, so it's
Love that
getting
for
pretty
you.
interesting. Love
I feel
that for
like you
me.
need to join like an Office fan club.
I would agree. If you guys have any resources, please let me know.
Any
This is
private
quite
Facebook groups.
this is quite literally my 4th time watching the entire series all the way
You
through.
are so weird. Okay, we're gonna get into our discussion. Enough about Netflix. Let's do it, brother.
Let's do it, brother. All
Okay,
right. So,
so
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna let
we're
you
gonna
take the lead.
yeah, we're gonna break this up into, a little bit of a timeline for you guys. We're gonna start off with the pre Britney moment, which is
Yes.
why. The who, what, when, where, why.
Yes.
So, about like 2 weeks ago, I don't know, I was just fucking around on like my stories or like I forget what I was doing. I was just like fucking around and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna shave my head. And then I like brought it up to Olivia and like I was kind of considering it seriously, but I was also definitely just fucking around because I was bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. So it was actually, we were on a call. It was like me, you, and Zach, our producer. And I was like, yeah, like I'm going to shave my head. And you were like, you're, you're being fucking stupid, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. At first I was like, don't make any impulsive decisions. Like don't do this out of boredom.
Yeah.
Um
I think I texted it to you before that and you were like you said I said I'm going to shave my head. I'm bored. And then you responded, I remember so and you were like chill, do some yoga. And I was like
Probably.
That's not going to help me right now." Um
Probably, yeah.
yeah, so after I was like kind of joking about it, I like posted about it. I made one of my captions, day whatever of isolation, considering shaving my head, debate in the comments or something. And people went crazy. They were like, do it, do it, do it. Some people were like, here, you're stupid, whatever. So, anyways, I started like seriously considering it. And I don't know why. After like it was kind of like it was really a joke at first almost. And then like I would wake up the next day and be like, I like actually want to do this.
Mhm.
And and I kind of sat with that feeling for a few days and then I brought it up to Olivia again and I was like, "Hey, like I'm actually considering this. Like I'm not being impulsive. Like this is just something that like I want to do." And we kind of talked it out and it was funny because I actually had like a separate phone call with Zach, like I said, our producer, and he was like, he was like, he was almost like it's going to be hard for Olivia to relate because like this isn't something that she would ever like need to do or like have to do. And he was like, but I get it because like we're similar in that aspect. Like if we see something that could potentially like like is so like like almost like impulsive but also challenging, it's something that like we immediately are like, okay, I want to tackle this. I want to prove
Mhm.
that I can do this. And so I don't know. I felt very heard in that conversation because it was kind of like I feel like you didn't really understand at first, and you were like, I can't relate. And yeah, it was just
Well, I feel
interesting
like
because
because when you first presented it to me, I was very like, this is like such a Jessica thing to do
yeah,
because
100%.
it evolved like your reasoning and also
Hmm.
like, our conversations about it because at first it was like, just you coming on board of and I like I'm always going to be her no person, right?
Yeah.
So like I play devil's advocate, she does the same for me, and I think that's what good friends do. And as long as you know my intentions are not malicious, it's actually to benefit you, to play devil's advocate, to be someone on the other side saying like, have you considered this? Have you considered this? What if this happens? And it's
Yeah.
not to, talk you out of it. It's not to deter you from it. It's literally to have a good thought exercise so that we can
And
say
looking at it
we
from all aspects.
exhausted. Yeah, yeah.
You need to look at it
Um
from all sides and, having someone
it's
that
it's
knows you
doing
so
your
well.
due
Due
diligence.
diligence. Yeah, absolutely. And once you kind of understood that I was, like, more serious about it, like, the entire energy of the conversation shifted, and you were like, "Well, are you ready?" Like, you're not just shaving your head, like, like, you're basically changing your entire lifestyle, you're changing the way people perceive you. Is this something that you're ready for? And what I said was that, like, no, it's absolutely not something that I'm ready for, but that's why I wanna do it. Like, I need to challenge myself, I need to challenge my own standard of beauty. I need to challenge my own ego. And I really wanted to be liberated. I wanted to be liberated from like my hair and feeling like I had like my own like standard of beauty like rooted in my hair. And as I sat with this feeling, I had sat with it for about 2 weeks before deciding to do it or doing it maybe. And each day I just became more and more like detached from my hair. And although I'd look in the mirror and I'd play with it and I'd be like, this hair is pretty, but it doesn't even feel very me anymore. And I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was a very I felt like I needed to be liberated from it,
Mhm.
and, we'll get into kind of, more of, like, what the standard of beauty and, I'm sorry, like, beauty standard and, what the confidence aspect of it all is, but,
Yeah, and like for me, oh, hi Ellie. I just wanted you to mentally prepare for like worst case scenario. Not saying that that was going to happen, but I needed you to be ready to look in the mirror and like possibly break the fuck down and freak out, you know?
yeah, and a really funny thing that I remember you saying during our initial conversation when we were kind of, like, butting heads about it, when I was just, like, being ignorant and you were like, "Jess, you're being stupid," was, like you were like, "Jess, you cut your hair too short and cried for like fucking 3 weeks because of it." And she's right because like a few years ago, I chopped my hair off to like above my shoulders, and I quite literally like would gag when I saw myself in the mirror. Like I was just so upset, and
But
obviously,
that was the reasoning why you felt like you had to do this, because you recognized that within yourself and you didn't like it.
yeah, no, and of course, but like, and I also like that was many years ago, way before my spiritual journey and my self love journey even began. And I was in a toxic relationship at the time. And so, like, a lot of those things had to, do with it. But, and she's right because, and as a best friend, keep in mind that she's also part therapist to me, like if I shave my head off,
Your head off.
I think I've said that
I'm
like 3
out.
times. I'm out. If I, choose to buzz my hair, but I don't know what the terminology is regardless. You guys know what I mean. She's the one who has to deal with it essentially, and
Right, like if
it
you
wouldn't
were
be
to
fair to
go and
put that on her if I wasn't mentally prepared.
yeah, that was another aspect that I was like, "Okay, well, I need to make sure you're ready for this, because if you're not, that means, like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to deal with it," you know?
Yeah, and you were like, "I don't wanna deal with it," and I was like, "Okay, you know what? That's fair because 'cause you're absolutely the person that has to deal with it." So,
Right.
I truly did my research, like, it wasn't an impulsive decision, like, I sat like, I had honest conversations with myself, I sat, like, in front of the mirror for, like, a long time, I literally did my research, like, I looked up articles of women who have shaved their heads, I looked up, like, I was going to these, like, women's Instagrams and, like, looking at their entire journeys, like, growing out their hair, everything.
Mhm.
And I'm reading a book right now as well, which is called Ego is the Enemy. I think I mentioned it last week. I don't know, but I'm like about halfway through and it's really great. And that kind of has been helping me detach from my ego, and preparing for this as well. And also, like, unrelated, when I posted about this the other day, when I was like fucking around and posting about it, I had a man comment, like some random old dude, and he was like, he was like, "If you shave your head, I'll donate $10,000 to charity." And I was like, "Bet, my mind's made up."
Mhm, yeah, that was when you were still, like, undecisive about it.
Yeah, yeah,
And then he
and
said that, and you were like, "Hmm." I mean, why
mm,
just another reason, like, he's
yeah,
not gonna take that into consideration.
and he saw my post yesterday, and he DM'd me, and he was like, "Bravo, like, you did it, like, you and, like, I'll send you my receipt of don't like my $10,000 donation to the and he asked me what charity I wanted to donate to, and we had a brief discussion as well, like, it didn't wasn't just, like, based off
Yeah.
comment. But, and I told him that I wanted him to donate to the Global Giving Relief Fund for coronavirus. So he's donating $10,000 on my behalf to coronavirus, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
You
I
love to
love
see it.
that.
It's I
Love
mean
to see it.
I mean, I was gonna do it regardless, and just an added bonus of $10,000, like, let's
That
ride.
is amazing. Like,
Yeah,
that
so
is
crazy.
amazing.
Once he sends me the receipt, because we just had this conversation like an hour or two ago. I'll definitely post it and show you guys. But yeah, it's so it's insane.
Yeah, I'm just like, I gotta say, I'm so proud of you. Like, I know you've had your own journey with this, but you have balls, man. Like, I'm just proud to know you, proud to be friends with you. Like, for
Stop.
real, not everyone can just do that. And like, it is a big challenge to, we guys, we preach this. What makes you uncomfortable is your biggest opportunity for growth. And like, I want you guys to realize, like, we every day are living by what we preach. And
Every day.
like, every day. And like, we even will say it to each other, and
Mhm.
like, we'll be in situations, and then we're like, yep, that's on sticking up for yourself. Yep. And that's on doing what makes you uncomfortable.
100%.
So
And like, and
like,
anytime we like see the other person doing it, we're like, good for you. You just practice what you preached. Like,
yeah, like last week we said to start, use this time to think about what's important to you in your life, in your relationships, in your work. And then the next morning I'm meditating, and I'm like, well, I did just tell people to do this, so I'm going to sit here and
mhm.
journal exactly what I just told people to do. And I journaled it, and I told Jess, here's the template. If you want to use it too.
She
And I
fucking
just think,
sent she sent me a photo of, like, the questions that she's asking herself, and she's like, "Hey, I just did this if you wanna do it too," and, how blessed am I to have a friend who's, like, going out of their way to make sure that, like, I'm progressing myself as well, dude. I'm emo.
oh, God, quarantine has us all sorts of ways. Okay,
Also so
so
emotional.
moving on. So yeah, once like I the only way I was gonna be okay with her doing this is knowing that it was like a well thought out decision. And that's like what I'll support you no matter what. But like, truly,
Mhm.
that's how I felt comfortable letting you move forward with this. We're
Yeah,
like in a relationship.
it's so funny, like, the way you're wording it because it's like, "Mom, am I allowed to do it? Have I thought about it enough?"
No, but it is. I was
Nah.
like, I'm not gonna let you do some stupid shit and then possibly regret it. That was
Yeah.
my main
I
concern.
mean,
So,
you wouldn't be doing your duty as a
but
best friend.
2 weeks later, and you having multiple conversations and saying, "Yep, I want to do this. I want to challenge myself. I'm ready." Like, you mentally prepared. You in your mind, your hair was already gone. You know what I
Y
mean?
100%,
You already detached yourself from it.
and when we had that first conversation, I set boundaries for myself. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna give it at least 2 weeks before I do it. I'm not gonna be impulsive and do it, like, and because I'm scared that I'll chicken out later, like, because this isn't that type of decision.
That's
It
true.
is
That's true.
it is one that you need to sit on." So I told her, I was like, "Listen, I'll wait 2 weeks, like, we'll have a few more conversations about it." Um, like, truly, like, she was, like, almost like being my mirror in a way, like, asking me the questions that, like, I needed to ask myself, and, and I'm very fortunate to have someone like that because not everyone can have a conversation with, like, a mirror that talks back, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always just very, very fortunate for that.
Love you, brother.
Love you.
So I have a few questions that I've been saving because I wanted to save it for, this actual episode and us talking
Mhm.
about it. So we talked about head shaving off,
Pre-buzzing.
uh, pre decapitating. No, but I want to ask some questions about during, because obviously it's like, I don't know. I feel like if it were me. That's like fucking so like adrenaline
Yeah,
rushing. I don't
and I feel like
know.
a lot of my followers and people were like, "Oh my," because I videotaped the entire thing from start to finish, and people could obviously could see my face and
Mhm.
everything, and they were like, "How are you not
You look
freaking out
so
during this?"
cool, calm, collected. So those are my questions. Like,
Yeah.
what was going on through your head? Was there any moment or second of like, am I fucking up? Like, was it an adrenaline rush?
So I set up the camera and I sat down in this chair outside. My dad was doing it for me, and I had my family there, like my dad's fiance. I had my little sister there, and I had my cousin Ashley come for emotional support because I knew I'd like need it. And so
Mhm.
honestly, having them there, like my little sister, my dad's fiance, and Ashley, like as my support system, 100% helped because so they started it was really scary. It was like, don't get me wrong, I sat there and I was sweating. Like they were sweating for me. Like they were like, are you multiple times, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do this? And I
Oh
was
my
like,
god,
I
really?
yeah, oh yeah. They were like, are you sure? Like, we don't want to do this to you and put me, pressure you into something,
Right.
whatever. And so I was like, there's literally no way I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like if you have to hold me down, like fucking hold me down because I need to do this. But that really wasn't the case at all though, because I ended up just like I was just like, yeah, like I don't know, it felt so right. It was like I was like, I can't leave here with this hair on my head. Like
Yeah.
it
Well,
needs to
even like
come off.
even the night before, I think you were like, you were saying like, I just can't wait for it to like. That's why I say you were already detached from your hair. Like in your mind, it was already shaven off because you like were so firm in your decision, and you were like, it was at the point where like, I don't. I think you were excited for the relief and like the feeling of like freedom in a way. You know?
Yeah, and I was definitely like I was worried about like obviously not liking the way that I looked, but I had already come to terms with that. I had come to
Yeah.
terms with like I might absolutely hate it. I might think
Yeah.
that I'm super ugly, but I also knew that that was part of the process that I was prepared for.
Right.
I was
Right.
ready. I was ready to dislike my physical appearance.
Right.
And
You were
so
prepared for the worst.
yeah, I was like
Yeah.
I like you could say that I had a mental like go bag. You know what I mean? Like I had
Mhm.
tools that were ready and put in
Yeah.
place that if I needed to grab them and be like, all right, I'm having a mental fucking breakdown because I just shaved my head. What do I need? I had my tool bag ready. I had my
Yeah, I love that.
ready. I had not only like mental tools, but also material tools. Like I had you on standby. I had my man on standby. I had Ashley there. I
You
had
had a full face of makeup ready to go, slaying,
okay.
bitch.
This is very, very important to the story. I
Yes.
slayed my face beforehand because I
Yeah.
was like, I need to have
You need a
I
buffer. You
I
need a
need a
buffer.
buffer, 100%. Thank you for saying that because it's
Yep.
so true, and that definitely did help. But yeah, so they started cutting, and it was so crazy, the feeling, and so I had the
Oh,
camera
I have chills.
I had the phone sitting in front of me and it was facing me, right? So I could see myself. And I started watching as they were cutting, because they started with the back. So I still had hair in the front. And then when
Mhm.
they started chopping the front, I could not look at the video.
Oof.
I was like, I don't want to see it. So they kept talking to me. Like they would like touch the back of my head. There'd be no hair. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, stop touching it. I'm getting freaked out. And then, but honestly, like I said, having them there was so important because the entire time they were like as it got shorter and shorter, they were like, "Dude, you look amazing." They were like, "You look so beautiful." Like, and that was just, I mean, not that that was the point, but that was just so nice to hear. And that really like just kind of kept pushing me through it. And I mean, my dad was the one cutting shaving my head. So my dad's like, I've spoken about my dad in our relationship before, and um, just having him do it also was almost, it was very like bonding and also like very liberating as well because my dad is such like a traditional marine man, and like having him shave my head was like very emotional. And like I texted him yesterday and I was like, thank you for helping me make this a reality. And he's like, anything for you. He's like, I know I don't tell. He's like, he said something along the lines, of, like, I know I don't tell you, but you're absolutely stunning, like even without the hair. And like, my dad's maybe called me pretty, like less than 5 times in my life. So
Oh my god.
it was really cool. And oh
I
my
l
god, wait, I have to say this, like, what was I doing? Ashley had just gotten there, and this is before we did anything, and we're sitting at, like, our dining table, and my dad's in the kitchen, and I'm like, "Dad, do you think I'm gonna be pretty?" Like, fucking with him, and he doesn't respond, and I look over at Ashley, and I was like, "It's okay, I haven't needed your validation for a long time." And we started crying because we have, like, the same relationship with our fathers. It
What
was
did he say?
oh, he didn't care because, like,
He's
I
just
I
a
I can
brick
bust
wall.
I can bust his balls, like, all day.
Oh
It
my
was
god, that's
just too funny not
awesome.
to share.
That's amazing. Okay, so you kind of you weren't completely calm during your, part of you was definitely freaking out a little.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
no, I mean, I was sweating, I was nervous, but also, like, like, there was
you
just
knew
no
it
other
was
option.
necessary.
I knew
Yeah,
there was no other option for me. Like, I would have been more nervous to keep the hair
right.
at that
For
point.
sure, for sure. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
talk about post. I want to ask like the first when you looked in the mirror for the first time, like did you have any like moment where you wanted to cry? What emotions were you feeling?
So, I didn't look at myself for, like, a little while
Oh,
after.
okay.
I really wanted to, like, sit with the feeling.
Okay.
Um, like, the most I, like, saw of myself within, like, the first, like, I think, like, 20 to 30 minutes, like, because most people would, like, run to a mirror, right? You know, you'd think. But, like, I saw myself in, like, the reflection of a window, and I, like, immediately turned my head, and I was like, "Oh my god, I just saw myself." And I don't know, it was crazy. I just kept letting, like, Ashley and Bella and them, like, just run their fingers through my hair, and I just kind of sat sorry, I just burped.
You're
Sat
good.
sat with the feeling of it and, like, touched myself, like, moved my head around, got
Mhm.
used to not feeling something, like, always, like, almost
Brushing there.
following you. You know, every move
Yeah.
you make, the hair's always touching you,
Yeah.
brushing you, whatever, and so it was really crazy when I'd, like, turn my head really fast and I wouldn't feel anything there.
Yeah.
So I sat with that feeling before, going to a mirror and,
Did anyone say
it
like, "Well, don't you wanna look in a mirror?" Like, did Ashley or your sister? Or they
no.
just kinda, like, let you, like, do your thing? They, like, knew you were on your own shit?
Yeah, kind of. Like, they
Yeah.
had been taking videos and, like, they weren't showing me any of the videos or anything.
Gotcha,
Um,
gotcha. I love that.
but
I love that you were with your family because I didn't know you were gonna go down, to see your family and do this with them. I thought you were just gonna do it in your bathroom, like, by yourself.
yeah, no, that'd be some really out of pocket shit.
Yeah, like,
Like,
that's
I
what I
feel
thought
you
you were
though.
doing. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah,
Which
I'm so
which
glad
I
you had them
could've,
there
but yeah,
as,
no,
like,
but
as a support system. It made me so happy to see that your dad was doing it because I obviously know that relationship, and I don't know,
yeah.
it made me happy.
No, and I mean, like, I know that I just personally, like, I needed to be with people, that, like, love me regardless of my my
Yeah,
physical
unconditional
body.
love. Yeah.
Yeah. Um And that just know me and, like like, can talk me off a ledge. Like, it's so funny because I think Ashley texted me, like, later that day. She was like she goes, "How's it feeling?" And I'm like I was like, "Dude, I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, what did I do?" Is what I texted her, and I was completely fine. And she immediately sends me, like, 3 texts like, "Dude, you're fine." Like, starts talking me off of a ledge, and I send her a picture, and I'm like, "I'm doing great, bitch." And
Aw.
she was like, "Dude, I was so ready to, like, comfort you and be there for you. Like, I had texts ready." And it's like, I'm I'm just so lucky. I'm so loved. I'm so lucky. Like,
Okay, love that. Let's get into speaking of the love, the like outpour of comments that you've gotten of people just like supporting it and being here for it. Cause like you said, like I think you knew it was gonna like receive a lot of attention, but not like kind of blow up the way it did. And
yeah.
like the level of support.
It's it's like I'm almost speechless, honestly.
Yeah.
I posted it yesterday. It's been like little over 24 hours and just the amount of comments, and so I was so nervous to post it. I posted it
Yeah.
like more than a day after I had done it, because I also like I was eager to post it, but I was also like I can't like, I really wanted to sit with myself as well, and
And
before
it's your experience for yourself to go through,
yeah, and I
before
wanted to
sharing. I get that.
yeah,
That's like when
100%.
I was proposed to, I didn't share about it for like a few days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I actually thought about that as well. But yeah, so I posted it, and like you texted me and you were like, why am I nervous for you? And I was like, dude, I'm freaking out.
No, I said, "Why is my heart beating for
Y-
you?" Like, I
you're like,
literally
why is
you're
my heart racing?
literally, like, pounding, and I'm just like, "She's about to post."
I know. I mean, like, and it's crazy because, like, but it's like, you're putting yourself out there, and not to say that it's like an entirely outlandish thing, because, people shave their heads, people do it, and,
Yeah,
some
it's a
people don't
thing,
make
it's a
some
thing.
people don't make as big of a deal out of it, and this is just my personal experience. I can't speak to anyone else's experience. I can only speak to like how cathartic it was for me, and why I needed to do it. Some people don't, feel such an emotional, tie
Mhm. They're
with
just
it,
like,
but
"Fuck it, yeah, my hair's
yeah, yeah.
shaved."
Like, I'm bored and I can do this, and
But
I
I
can
think the
feel
reason why this is a big deal is also because your career, like, you're a model, and your
yeah,
entire livelihood is based off of your appearance, whether it's modeling, influencing, so it's like that's
yeah.
why this was even more impactful and,
And
like,
and and those are
special.
and those are things that I had to take into account and discuss and have real conversations with myself, and wonder, like, if this negatively impacts my career, like, what am I gonna do? Like,
Right.
if it impacts my income, if certain brands don't wanna work with me because they weren't expecting me to shave my head, like, there's even contracts that I'm in now that I'm kinda just like, are they gonna say something about it? I mean, not
Yeah,
that,
because
like
you guys I just wanna explain it for those of you of who might not make the connection, like, our Instagram pages are our personal brands, so our appearance is a
it's our
part of
image.
that brand, it's our image. So, for Jess, it's like, the brands who already have her on a contract agreed for her personal brand, so now it's kind of you're rebranding in a way, you know?
Oh, and 100%, and that was really something that I look forward to as well, because, like, and I don't know, just even now, I truly, like, can't describe how much more like myself I feel. Like, I
Rowdy.
I feel like I look at the other photos and I'm just like, that girl, like, don't get me wrong, that's me, that's 100% a part of me, but it's like, I just, like I said, I feel so much more like, I feel like my outside represents my inside a little bit better.
That big dick energy.
No, but really, and I feel like, that's kinda why people get tattoos, because it's like, little representations of what,
Yeah.
meaningful things to them, and, it's part of my journey, and, who knows, I might fucking grow my hair all the way back out. It won't be for a very long time because my hair grows so slow. So after I posted it, like like the amount, like I said earlier, like I just had no idea that it was going to I like
Get the attention it
get
did.
the get the attention that it did, and also, like, I guess, inspire so many um opinions in a way. Like,
Mhm.
everyone, I mean, negative or positive, was sharing, and which I loved. And all things considered, I'd say, like, the ratio of, like, negative comments to positive comments, or positive comments to negative comments, was like 100 to 1.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, really, there was only a few, like, negative comments, aside from people saying stupid shit like unfollowing, or, I mean, just kind of
Okay,
like ask
bye.
yeah, like, oh god,
Didn't want you here anyways.
don't get me started on the men who think that they're, like, entitled, like, that I need their validation. It's wild, and I knew that going into this, like, I was opening myself up to people's
Those
opinions,
judgments, yeah.
solicited or unsolicited, and, I'm so incredibly grateful for the outpour of love and support that I received. Like I said, it's like my most commented photo ever. Like, I think it has like 700-800 comments of just people, like,
You know what
just
I think it
encouraging me, and
is?
it's beautiful.
I think people are just not used to seeing others live their truth. Like you're living your truth. You know what I mean? And it's inspiring to see that, and it's a bold move, and I don't think we're used to seeing enough inspiring bold moves like that. I think people like to play it safe a lot, myself included, you know?
Mhm.
So I think that's why it's receiving such a reaction from people, cuz it's like a shock. You're just like, "Oh my god, she fucking
And
did
that
it.
bitch real did it. She really did it.
She's got a set of balls."
And it's crazy because a lot of, that's been a really common theme is like, "Oh my god, like, you have such, like, your dick is huge." Like, you're like, "I can't believe you had the balls to do that."
Yeah.
And, I mean, I just find that, like, I don't know, man, like, I find it very interesting because, like, I don't necessarily think that it's like, for me, it's not like it didn't take balls for me to do that. And, it's all relative to what other people, like, perceive and what they consider to be, brave, or, you
Right.
know, whatever, terminology you wanna use, but, like, for me, that just wasn't it. It wasn't I didn't consider myself brave for that. Like,
Yeah.
it was, like, just literally, like, a necessity. And I don't it's really hard for me to explain, but, like, I just it was a necessity. It was something that I needed to do, not something that, like, it's not something that took courage for me.
Yeah.
It was
I
natural.
think a point I wanna make is that when we're so used to seeing on our Instagram feeds girls who are perfectly made up, and, and that's ourself included. Like, I'm not excluding you and I from this
Ourselves.
conversation.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like we see the perfect makeup and the perfectly done hair and the beach curls, and that's why it's like someone who is struggling with their self-esteem and won't even post a picture where they think their nose looks a little weird, or might have a pimple. It's like those girls seeing you just say fuck it and shaving off your hair, to them that's inspiring, and that's why they think it's like, wow, you must have so much confidence because you just said fuck it. Like, I wouldn't even post a picture of my hair looks bad. You
Yeah.
shaved your fucking hair off and you're posting it. So that's why I think, you know, people are saying, like, wow, you must have a lot of confidence to do
Mhm.
that, or you must be brave.
Yeah, and I mean, I couldn't be more thankful that that's how people are, like, perceiving it, like, and I'm hoping that it inspires them as well, like, some of the comments that I've gotten, like, were I mean, I cried so many times yesterday just reading these comments from people who were like,
Will you send me some? I want to see.
yeah, and I wrote down just a couple briefly that I had screenshotted. I mean, like I said, like, there were so many comments coming in, not to, like, be like, "Oh my god, I'm famous," but,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Is this
it's
how
really
the
hard to keep up with.
Kardashians feel?
Yeah, I mean, I'm basically Amber Rose now. But they were, they were coming in very quickly, so it was honestly really hard for me to keep up with all of them, but there were a few that I caught and were like they were just, oh god, like, they moved me, it's overwhelming, and I have a couple written down here that I'll read, and it was like one of them was like, "This is power, you are completely in control of who you are. Wow, I'm in awe, I'm so inspired by you." Which is, like, crazy because it's like, you're completely in control of who you are. Like, I mean,
That's powerful.
that
That's
it's so
powerful.
it's so powerful, and it's like, it's not something that I necessarily, like, going into this, like I said, it was just something that, like, I needed to do because I wanted to challenge myself, but, like, I didn't realize that in doing that, I was like, it's it's about living your truth and how much power is in living your truth. Like that's really all we're here to do is, like, and I just recently finished reading The Alchemist, and, it's about your journey and, like, sticking to your journey and living your truth, and I think that that's, like I think that's put, like, why it's inspirational to people, and it's like, I don't know. I've just been so moved by these comments and just, like, what people are perceiving from it.
I think that everyone on the internet has a fear of judgment, right? And like that, and that's human nature, but especially with social media. fear of judgment. It's just we're constantly putting ourselves out there, and especially being influencers, like when we go out and even when I, talk in my stories, it's like there's always going to be that thought, maybe not even necessarily fear if you've done the self-work to get through it, but there's always going to be the thought of judgment of like what is someone else going to think about this. And we talked about this in a previous episode. I don't remember exactly which one, maybe the what it's really like to be an influencer, but every time we put ourselves out there, we're opening
Mhm.
up to the world and giving
It's
them an
yeah, that's true.
opportunity to judge us.
Mhm.
And for those of you who don't get on your Instagram stories and talk to the camera and share, if you try it, I mean, like now it's easy for us, but the first time you do it, you're like, I mean, like most people will just delete it and be like, "Oh, I can't post that." Like they can't talk into their stories because they don't feel confident enough, but maybe not even that, but maybe because they're so scared of people's judgments. And
Oh,
I think it's important to
100%.
note that like it's not that we don't have that fear, it's that we know its place. Like we
Mhm.
know, I don't know, for a long time, like, and I mentioned, I made this point in a previous episode, that when I was talking about when I first started like getting comfortable with posting on my stories and talking to the camera like that, I would rewatch the story, and the first I would just think, okay, what's the worst thing someone can say about this? And then that would be what I would think everyone would think, and then I would just delete it. But
Mhm.
by doing that, it's such a self-sabotage because you can't be your worst enemy like that. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
maybe one person will think that, but there's going to be 90 other people who think you sound great and look great and are inspired by what you're doing.
And
So,
and and it's not even about those people. It's about speaking your truth and, whatever conversation that you're trying to share, whatever you're trying to share,
yeah.
fuck it. Even if
You just
everyone does hate it. Like,
Yeah, and I know it's so much easier said than done, guys, but you really, I mean, and I'm working on this too, trust me.
oh, guys, I do this all the time. I can't even, and it's crazy because we're having this conversation about confidence, and a lot of people think that it took, like an incredible amount of confidence and self-assurance to shave my head, which, I'm sure to a degree it did, but there's even yesterday I filmed myself, like I wanted to say something about like the support I was getting, and I was like, almost every time I started crying, and then I was like, "Oh, I don't wanna cry because I look stupid," but, like, that was a self-sabotage because like, I should just post whatever it is my truth
It's
is,
your
and
truth.
yeah, and so
And I
even we all
think
struggle.
Yeah, yeah, and I think there is a movement of people getting more comfortable with not being perfect on social media, and influencers opening up about, just like we're all fucking human. Like
We're
I posted
flawed.
even a few weeks ago, I posted something about I was getting emotional talking about people who are struggling right now with coronavirus and people who, elderly who can't get their food, and I got choked up in the video. And then like, a part of you doesn't want to be vulnerable like that. But then another part of me is like, I'm human, and so is the person on the other side of this screen. If they can't
Mhm.
understand that I'm getting choked up and emotional about it, and I cry just like everyone else does, then like, what the fuck are we even doing here? You know
And
what I
and not
mean?
and not to mention that that vulnerability is truly, like, what people crave.
Yeah,
People wanna see other people being vulnerable, like,
yeah.
it's beautiful, like, that's
It's
we
real.
it's real, and we need more of it in this lifetime, and, I love that we're having this conversation even because it's like, I mean, I needed this reminder. I needed this reminder that and vulnerability is just so important because and you know what? It's not okay, so I think even almost like vulnerability is like a bad word because it's like
Because it sounds
vulnerability,
weak.
it sounds weak, but there's so much strength in vulnerability,
Well,
and
maybe it's just societal ideas that have made you think that being vulnerable is like a weak or a negative
oh, I mean, it's the
thing.
ego. It's the ego because it's like we think that, if we're vulnerable, like we can get hurt, but realistically, I mean, it's all about the mindset. If you have the
Yeah.
mindset of like this is no matter what presents itself to me when I'm being vulnerable, it
It's
is
a
it's either a lesson or it's a blessing. Like that
Yeah,
there's
and it's
literally only two
also
options.
a tool if you let it be. Like I know like in relationships, right? Men have a hard time being vulnerable. And that's something that I often communicate with Tyler is like you don't, this whole macho thing, like, you don't have to do this right now. Like, you can be vulnerable. It's okay to let your guard down, because that is how we're going to open up this line of communication and be able to
Mhm.
admit what is really at our core and what's bothering us, like, to get deep down there and to bring those issues to surface, you need to be vulnerable, and that
It's
does
how
take,
you evolve.
yeah, and it does take a little bit of strength, but
Yeah,
we went
and
down
no
a
and no
rabbit
one
hole.
and not to mention no one's saying it's easy.
Yeah.
No one's saying that it's, like, easy to be vulnerable, but it's about being honest with yourself and saying, like, "I'm not gonna let my ego win. I'm going to be or, like, I'm gonna be a real human. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to
And
be."
show others that it's okay to be human and it's okay to
And
not be perfect and have insecurities, like,
I think it's important not to mention that while you should also be vulnerable, you should allow others to be vulnerable. And
yeah,
if
and not
you
judge them.
not judge them
Right.
and be kind and
Yeah, I actually love that you made that point. Like,
I
challenge, not
let's
only challenge
encourage others.
yourself, not only challenge yourself to be more open and not care about judgment, challenge yourself to not judge others so much. If you find you are that person on the other side of the screen being like, "Oh my god, she looks like shit in this. Oh my god, she gained weight," or like sending it to a friend, like, one of the 4 agreements in the book is be impeccable with your word. Challenge yourself to not be so judgmental of others, because
I Mhm.
that's something
Be
I work on constantly, even with different cultures, and, like, things that are unfamiliar to us. We're kinda
Mhm.
going down a rabbit hole, but I'm loving this, so let's just let it go.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to, like, other cultures, things that we haven't grown up with, or, just isn't our normal, sometimes we can think is lesser than, or not lesser than, but is maybe not as
It's just
interesting.
or it's just foreign to us, and we either
Yeah,
we're scared by it, and
right.
therefore we reject it, or you know,
Judge
we
it.
just don't we judge it, we don't understand it, so our ego wants to, like, make fun of it or whatever it may be. Like,
Yeah.
we have to challenge ourselves to not only be vulnerable, but to have a space and create a space for others to be vulnerable and hold space for those people and encourage those people to be vulnerable and live their truths as well, because I mean that's where it all starts. Like, you have to kindness makes the world go round.
Truly, no, it does. Um, yeah, okay. I love that, but I do want to get back to just like, the subject of confidence, and vulnerability does take confidence.
I feel like, sometimes it's, like, not even necessarily about, like, confidence, and I feel like kind of we get skewed about what confidence means, and we have an idea of what confidence is, and it's the ego. Typically, it's the ego inflated confidence, and it's like well, I'm hot shit, and I'm a
Yeah.
bad bitch. Which, don't get me wrong, I am. But I truly, like, when I was reading a lot of these comments, like I said, a lot of them were hammering home, like, wow, this confidence, like, I wish I aspire to have this level of confidence. And it was like, it was so weird for me, because I was like, I don't think that I am any more confident than the average person. Depends on what your, definition of confidence is, but I think that I just give less of a fuck about what people have to think.
Right. Yeah, that's such a good point.
And like I said, like, you could think that you could, equate that with confidence and,
Well,
whatever.
no, they're almost separate, because like I can look in the mirror and find tons of flaws and tons of things that I would want to improve about myself. But that doesn't mean, like, that's not the same thing as me like not
It's not
caring what people
synonymous with.
think.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, no, I love that you said that, because, like, I know I'm fully aware of my flaws. Like, do you think that I don't think that I look like a little boy now? For
but
sure.
but who is, you define flaw?
Yeah, I also just don't give like, I don't give a fuck.
For me, to be completely honest, I care less about, if people judge me for my looks, or the way I talk, or, something external like that, I really don't mind. But something that I have, as I've been, on this, just doing self work and getting more into knowing myself, I am really sensitive to people's judgments about my character. And I care a lot
Mhm.
about what people think about my character. And
Same.
I guess you could see that as a good thing, but it's definitely to a fault, because if I feel misjudged or misunderstood, it really, really affects me. in a negative way. So that's something that I've observed about myself.
Is there an example? Like, is there a situation or
Sure.
an example that you
Yeah.
could provide about
Yeah.
that?
So,
I need the receipts.
say say I'm with my best friends, and so like I don't have anything specific. I also don't want to put my, throw anyone under the bus here. But like
Hmm.
if someone is this would happen with my mom a lot when I was younger, if she's calling me selfish, or like it's like those type of like
I don't wanna throw anyone under the bus, but, my mom,
my
yeah,
mom.
she always.
Yeah, fuck that bitch. No, I'm kidding. I love you, mom.
Kidding, love you.
Um, no, but it's like it's anything that's insulting to my character, like I'm insensitive or not considerate or selfish. Like it's things
Mhm.
like that I'm just like, because I feel like I try so hard to just be like a genuine good person, that
Good
it's like
human,
when
yeah.
I feel misunderstood in that way, like even when I was younger, like I didn't really get bullied, but like, how middle schoolers like get into these stupid fights. And like that always affected me so deeply because I felt misunderstood. I was like, what do you mean? Like I'm just trying to live
Just
my
trying to be
life. I don't
just
know.
trying to be a good human. No, and I
Yeah.
feel that, and I feel like this we're veering a little bit off topic, but
Yeah.
I mean, even in my last relationship, like, those were the kind of insults that really got to me. He would be like
Yeah.
he would constantly use language and verbiage like, "You're so selfish," or like, "You're literally like, you're so selfish, you're so inconsiderate, like, how could you not think of me?" And like, those were the things
That
like,
hurt the most.
you can hurl insults at me any day. Like, there's
Right,
nothing
right.
about myself and my physical body that you that I haven't picked apart myself or that I'm not
Yeah.
aware of or that I give a fuck about. But
Mhm.
when it's something like you're so selfish or you're so inconsiderate or you're so mean to me during, whatever it may be, and it's like fuck, like
But
I'm
the
genuinely out here, like, doing my best, and I'm
best.
still making and this had nothing to do with me, it had everything to do with that person, but, like
Right.
and I'm
And
still making this person feel this way per se, it's like, yeah, that's a
that leads
shitty
me
feeling.
yeah, that leads me to my next point of like people who are and this kind of goes more towards the hate comments and people online, and like if you're listening and you're someone who posts a picture and you're automatically like just scared of what people could think. I don't think, I don't think a normal person deals with hate comments the way that someone who puts himself out there, like an influencer, or a blogger, or a YouTuber does. But just understanding that the people who are happy with their lives and who are winning and feel good and fulfilled and happy, they're not spending their time and energy writing hateful comments. Like the people who are leaving those comments and the mean negative shit, they're struggling. They're
Mhm,
struggling in some aspect in their own life, whether it's their self-confidence or who knows, right? Like who the fuck
like,
knows what they're
though
dealing with?
at the end of the day, whatever they're telling you is a reflection about how they feel about themselves.
Yeah, like remember they are dealing with whatever they're dealing with and projecting it onto you, because think about it. People who are successful and happy don't don't do that. Like they don't have the time, they don't have the energy. Like if you're happy in your life and you look at someone who's writing a hate comment and you're like, "Who the fuck writes that?" It's people who aren't happy, you know?
It's
So
literally
when
people who
you
hate themselves.
so when you remember that when you see those comments, or remember that when people are judging you, like they're just not happy within themselves, and that's on them. That has nothing to do with you.
Mhm,
And I think that's a huge part of this whole confidence thing, is just understanding that it's not personal. It's not about me. It's about them.
mhm, and no matter, like, what it is, what they feel, as long as you know that you're doing your best and you're living your truth, like, literally nothing else matters. Even if someone's it's all about, like, perception, like, if they're calling you selfish or if they're calling you, any sort of negative term, like, if you know that you're doing your best, then that's on them, and all you can do is like, confidence comes from within, and it comes from knowing that you're living your truth and that you're being the best version of yourself that you can be,
Mhm. Don't
and
take
that's
it
on
personally,
period.
brothers. But also while having, like also having sympathy for them too, because it's like, these people are, it's not that they have a special place in hell. We're all human. People deal with shit differently. I've never like held it against a hater. Yeah, people are dicks, but there's also a part of me that just has sympathy for people and what they're going through, and however they're, maybe they don't have someone to talk about it. Maybe they don't have a best friend. Maybe they don't have a therapist. So,
And I mean, we're all connected at the end of the day. Like, not
yeah.
to be that person, but like we're all on the
We're
same
all
journey.
one. Yeah,
We're
no,
all on we're all
truly.
on the same journey, and I mean, if you like, we've preached this before, but if you haven't yet read Many Lives, Many Masters, I would intensely recommend it.
Yeah.
I feel like I mean, it gives me a lot of sympathy for the souls out there that even like just spread hate. And it's not like, I don't know, with this book, you don't like, it doesn't talk about these things necessarily, but it rather teaches a lesson in which like it just really has shifted my perspective on
Yeah.
like life and
Life.
just life in general. It's every
Yeah.
aspect of life. And I mean, not to mention like bringing this kind of back to like, the whole shaving the head thing and how this all kind of relates is that like, the men that were even in my comments yesterday or even today, like one, those men are just like so sad. And like the comments that one man actually was literally like, I mean, obviously just so intensely self-deluded, was like, my, you need my like, sweetie, and you're not going to get it on this post because
You
I don't like
need
I
my
don't like that you
like.
did this. Yeah, he said something along the lines of like, you basically you work off of likes from men like me, and you're now not
Interesting.
gonna and now you don't get my validation because you shaved your head. And I was like, oh, boo fucking who, you can suck my fucking dick. And it's just crazy because these men are so triggered in my comments, so
Hmm.
triggered that I dared to shave my head, like without
So
asking them permission.
interesting.
Like, and
So
what they don't understand
interesting.
is like, regardless of why I did this, like my appearance is not for you. And I feel like just the standard of beauty is changing, and I feel like I'm very grateful to live in a time right now where this is so widely accepted.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
like I'm not getting slurs for
Mhm.
shaving my head, which I did receive here and there, but like like I said, I
Mostly
received
positive.
I received an overwhelming amount of love rather than hate. And but the standard of beauty is changing. And not to mention it's also changing within modeling, which is what has also allowed me to make this change and not worry as much about my work and everything. Like I ran this by my agency before I did it. Like I asked, not
Yeah.
like I didn't necessarily ask permission, because if they said no, I would have still done it. But I did want to just be respectful and run it by them. And, they were like, listen, go for it. Like, obviously we're in a quarantine. So if you don't like it, you have some time to start growing it back out.
Yeah. By the time
Um,
people see you, it'll be grown out if you didn't
yeah,
like
facts.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. But once I posted it, my agency director like emailed me immediately and was like, I love it. And like that was honestly, that was
So
really nice
nice.
because it was something that I was worried about. And like
It's so
it
nice
is,
to have that support.
yeah, it's nice to have that support. And it's also like I could have potentially lost a stream of income because
Yeah.
I made, this decision. And, like I said, I knew it was something that I needed to do for myself, and I was taking that risk. And, I would have dealt with it if it had come, but fortunately it didn't.
Okay, so now that the deed is done and you did the damn thing, it's been a few days, you posted on Instagram, the world knows. I mean, are you feeling like this is the new you? Like you want to keep it buzzed for some time now? Are you feeling like I mean, I know you don't want to grow it back, not yet for sure.
I mean, like every morning I've woken up with it and like I just fucking touch my head. Dude, I mean, regardless of like how liberating it is, just like within like my own like
Mhm.
self standards and my ego, whatever it may be, it feels so fucking good.
To
Like
not
just
have hair, I'm, like, so
bro.
jealous. I've been saying, like, not because I wanted to, but because of the maintenance and just the annoyance of having a head
Mhm.
of hair. For years, I've been like, "I just wanna shave my fucking head off."
Yo, send it, brother.
Yeah, no, not happening.
No, I know, I would not actually encourage that.
I might
But
do the
no,
bangs. I might do the bangs. I'm
I
still
dude,
thinking about
I
it though.
support the bangs. I really do. Okay, but
I don't
hear
know.
me
We'll
out.
see.
They were annoying. They were annoying, but I think that they were really cute, so it was worth it. Like, I'll do bangs again in my life. I liked them. Regardless, though, I mean, it's
Yes.
so nice, like, waking up and, like, 1, not having to do it. Like, I woke up and did content this morning, and I was like, "I don't have to
Oh my
fucking worry about my
god.
hair."
That's so nice.
Like, just even putting on, like, jackets and shirts and just, like, not
Mhm.
having to worry about it, like, having
Oh
it
my
pulled at my hair, like,
gosh.
fucked up my ponytail or whatever it may be.
So
God,
wild.
just, like, really little things. Like, dude, I fucking took a shower. My hair dried in,
Oh,
like, 5 minutes. I was like,
I didn't even think
"I'm
about a
never going back."
shower.
I was like,
That's
"I'm never going back."
amazing.
I
Wow.
You can't
I would
convert
do
me.
it I would do it just for a shower, because even when I cut my hair short from long to short, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Oh,
So
yeah.
I can't even
Dude, the
imagine.
shower, really, like, that I take
Wow,
I
that did
wash
it
my
for
hair
you.
I wash my hair every day now. I don't give a fuck.
Ba ba ba, ba ba, ba 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 ba. Wow,
Done.
I'm so jealous of that
No.
right there.
But, I mean, I'm feeling like no regrets.
No regrets, brother.
I love it. My boo loves it. I've
I'm
you
so
know
happy for you. I'm happy you pulled the trigger. Just I know I said this, but just to reiterate, I'm happy you're living your truth. And guys, if we could, I know we kind of went on a tangent with this. We kind of are just letting these episodes flow because they're real and they're natural, and we're kind of just having our own conversations. And I think a lot of you like the fact that you feel like you're just having a conversation with your best friend.
Mhm.
So, we're trying new things and keeping it a little more relaxed and just seeing where the conversation takes us. But if you could take anything away from this, it's really to just, I think, one, live your fucking truth, like actually live it.
Pay attention to
Um,
what that is and then take
yeah,
action to live it.
challenge yourself to not be afraid of other people's judgments, but also to not judge others and to be
Mm.
less judgmental of others. And three, I would say just like
Pull the fucking trigger.
pull the fucking trigger. You got one life, man. Fucking shave your head.
Yeah.
Derp.
Shave your head off.
Just behead yourself.
I mean, it's the cool
No,
thing to do. The
but
quarantine
yeah,
kill.
just it's less about confidence, I think, and more about caring less about what people think. Which
Mhm.
you would think sounds like the same thing, but I think they are two separate things and
Yeah.
really distinguishing one from another. But
The
yeah,
haters are my
that
motivators.
yeah, you know what? Fuck them. Haters make me famous.
Facts.
Okay, so we're gonna get into our tea time games. Clink,
Good time. Clink, clink. Burp, burp. I
clink.
drank all my coffee, but
Okay, so for our game today, we are playing categories. Apparently, this is like a well known, I don't know, game you used to play as a kid. I did not know that, so.
yeah, I mean, you've never, like,
Yeah, you know what? I feel
you
like I used to play it like in the pool for
in the
some
pool.
reason.
I was
Oh, this is the pool game.
This is kind of like the pool game,
But
but,
you
like,
would like be
except
underwater.
well, you'd be underwater and you'd also, like it was like a slight variation because, like,
It was
someone
like
would dunk.
colors. Wasn't it
Yeah,
colors?
it was colors, and someone would dunk you until you got their color right.
Everyone say hi to Ty. Hi, Ty.
"Hey,
His
Ty, what
first
up, dude?"
on-camera appearance.
Aw.
Ooh, we should have him as a guest now that we're both stuck home.
Oh my
Okay.
god, I'm so down for that.
Okay, I'm done. All right, so categories.
Alright, so our first category is going to be celebrities. So,
Okay.
basically,
Oh
we're
god.
gonna have to just go back and forth and name different celebrities, and then the first time one of us, like, fucks up, the other one is deemed winner.
All right, let's get into it. Bing,
Let's
bing,
get
bing,
it,
bing,
brother.
bing.
Bing, 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 bing,
Okay,
bing.
who goes
Okay,
first?
I'll go first.
Okay, go.
Owen Wilson,
Jennifer Aniston,
Will Ferrell,
Dwayne Johnson,
Steve Carell,
Selena Gomez,
LeBron James.
Miley Cyrus. I feel like celebrities are too easy. I feel like we need to do like actresses or like singers. Do you feel me? There's
I
so
mean,
many celebrities.
I was already about to fuck up,
You're
so
running out? Oh,
not
okay.
running out, but it's not a matter of running out, it's a matter of,
Or just,
like
like, blanking
it's
out?
critical thinking. It's critical thinking, and I don't have that skill.
Okay, Selena Go oh, wait, I said that. Oh. Taylor Swift.
Miley Cyrus,
I said Miley Cyrus.
See, I lose. I
Okay.
couldn't remember if you had said it or not. That was like our practice round. I did
Okay,
lose
yeah, I
though.
guess.
Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is cities.
Okay.
Um,
I'm
this
so
one,
bad.
I know. No,
Okay.
me and my boo were playing this the other night, and I lost every game.
Okay.
So cities:
Go.
Chicago,
Miami.
Fort Lauderdale.
Broward.
Broward's not a city.
Broward County. Yes,
Okay,
it is.
Broward's not a city, dude. It's a
It's a
county.
It's a county, the same thing as a city, basically.
No, it's not.
Oh, I guess because like Hollywood and Fort Lauderdale would be considered Broward. Fuck. Hollywood. Do I lose?
Yes, you lose. Okay,
Oh
but we'll
my
keep going. She
god.
goes Broward. That's like being like Miami-Dade. Like
I
what?
mean,
That's not a city.
so then Miami's not a city either. It would be South
My
Beach or it'd be Doral or like
excuse me.
Brickell.
Miami is a city. Miami-Dade is a county. Are you
Where's
okay?
Miami?
Miami is like literally look up Miami and it's like a city. Like my address is Miami. It's not
It's not
downtown.
Brickell?
No. Brickell's a city. Downtown is like is
You
it's
just told
my
everyone where you live.
I live downtown. My address is
Downtown.
247.
Okay. Wait, can we play
While
that
I'm at it,
one
let
again?
me just tell everyone my social. Yeah, we can play it again. All
Okay,
right.
ready? Los
Charlotte.
Angeles.
Sick. We're fucking so bad at this.
Go. You lose! Okay, next category.
Wait,
Boom. Stores. Next
this is
one.
not
Stores.
fair.
Target.
This is like big stores. Like these are like department stores, just to clarify. God damn it. Why am I losing?
Target.
Okay. Walmart,
Best Buy.
Home Depot.
Fuck! You took mine! I
That's
don't like
great.
this game. I gotta
Well,
practice this
I think we're
forever.
both just like terrible. All of our games are shit shows. Like they just truly reveal. Look at Nugget.
Like
Nugget's,
I really
you're so rude, Nugget.
couldn't think of anything other than fucking Home Depot.
No, but okay. So the thing is, like, the reason that it's hard is because you queue up things in your mind, and the minute someone takes what you said, like
Yeah, I know.
that's why I did Home Depot
That's what
because
just
I
happened.
yeah
Could've
just
said
wanted to.
Publix. Alright,
And you could have
anyways,
said literally anything:
I could've
Macy's,
said
Nordstrom's,
so
J.C. Penney,
okay, I get it.
department stores.
Alright, guys. That wraps up this episode. We know it's a little long-winded and whatever. I already did my disclaimer, but I don't know. You guys have time.
She's always like, she's the one that's concerned. I'm like, dude, let's go on like 20 tangents and let's
And
go
I'm
down
like,
a
"Yeah,
complete
but
rabbit hole.
we have to stay organized." But guys,
Whiskey,
that's why this
whiskey and
is
water,
whiskey and
baby.
water. You know what it is. You know what you come back for every week, and we love you guys for it. If you're listening, if you've enjoyed this episode, please, please, please share on your story. Tag us. We absolutely love seeing you guys. Like a bunch of listeners comment on Jess's post. Hell yeah, brother. We love that.
Oh, guys. Oh, I actually, really quick, wanted to
Mhm.
read this comment because it was so cute and I was going to tell you about it.
Aw.
I
Okay.
got a comment and it was like, was listening to last week's episode. And the opening is me saying that I'm going to come out of quarantine learning how to juggle and going bald. And like my post of me shaving my head was the first post that she saw when she
I
opened
saw
up
that.
Instagram
I saw that comment. I liked it.
as she was like fucking listening to that.
I
I think
love
that's so
it.
funny. And
It's
I love
so
that you guys
good.
like you guys are awesome. Everyone was commenting like hell yeah, brother. It's like it's so easy to pick out like who's the listeners and who's not. And you guys have been so fucking awesome. Like
Yeah,
you
we
guys have been
love it.
sharing and showing support and we love the brothers.
Yeah, we're so grateful for this audience and you guys, and we love that we're starting to get like more of a community here. We have mentioned in the past, we do have our private Facebook group up, so if you haven't already been invited, please DM us your email and we're going to be in there being more active and kind of just getting people involved and sharing our favorite beauty products and just everyday products and book
Books, advice.
recommendations. Yeah,
Yeah,
advice, things like
actually
that.
tune in. We'll send I'm putting this out there so that we hold ourselves accountable. We will post on Monday like basically an advice like you guys can ask us advice, and we're gonna have a little bit of like an advice column for next week's episode. So yeah, if there's anything that you guys need advice on or just kind of want to hear us chat about, we're more than welcome to help, and it can
Yeah.
remain anonymous. So yeah, we're here for you, brother.
Yeah, hear our input and our insight on it, like, as if, just asking your best friends some questions, and we'll give you our hot takes. And also, we want to start a hashtag called what is it again?
Cocoon.
COVID cocoon. And we just want to see, like, how you guys, if you listened to last week's episode, we talked about how we're using this time and calling it a cocoon because that's where growth happens. So we just want to see what you guys are doing for your own personal growth and how you're, using this time to grow.
And I mean, it could really be anything as simple
Yeah,
as
painting,
reading or
taking a
painting
walk.
or facts. We want to see what you guys are doing.
Yeah. So
So
include that hashtag. Do we want it to be COVID-19 cocoon or just COVID cocoon?
I think COVID cocoon.
Has a nice little ring to it.
Yeah, I like it.
So, yeah, and also, obviously, make sure you guys are staying safe, gotta say that again, staying inside, social distancing, and yeah,
That about wraps us up, brother.
that's it!
Thank
We
you
love you
guys so
guys.
much.
We will see you next week for another remote episode, and have a great, great week.
Bye, brothers.
We love you guys, bye!